YouTube. It is Sunday. Welcome. It is Sunday, February. It's the February the 16th, right? Yes. Welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary live on YouTube. I'm Clay Emo. I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clay Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. Not sure why that's going on, but that's okay. And yes, this is my weekly live stream here on YouTube. I'm so grateful to all of you for joining me, no matter where you are, whether you're here in Richmond, Vancouver, Lower Mainland, BC, Canada, this continent of North America, or across the world. I know we've had people from Hong Kong and Sweden and Germany on here. So I'm grateful to all of you. And while you're waiting or while you're here, if you want to hit the like button, the thumbs up button, certainly won't complain. You can give a thumbs up for the Sedin shirt that I'm wearing, of course, because that's what I'm going to be talking about. My Daniel and Henrik Sedin tribute shirt. And yes, as you know, I do daily vlogs, pre-game, post-game. Didn't do one today though, because thank you for your messages for those that follow me on Twitter. My aunt is very sick. She's probably on her last days, actually. We went to go see her, my Auntie Ritzy. She is actually the older sister of my late father. So Auntie Ritzy's turning 87 years old now, and she's likely gonna pass from cancer either tonight or tomorrow. So I'm so grateful that I got to see her. It meant I didn't get to watch the Canucks game, but hey, of course, family first. And she survived. Actually, she's lived longer than her parents, so my grandparents, and lived longer than her 3 brothers, including my dad and her 2 brothers. So if you want to say a prayer for my Auntie Ritzy tonight, I certainly would be most appreciative. So thanks for your messages. Many of you reached out on Twitter and asking about how she was doing and stuff, because I did tweet out, not to make it about me, but I did tweet out today that I wasn't going to be watching the game because I was spending some very, very important time with my aunt. And without getting too emotional or too dramatic, it was likely the last time I'm going to see her, so I was grateful for that time today. So let's talk about this week. Let's talk about the Canucks. Let's talk about the fact that since I last saw you last Sunday, it's been Sedin week. Wonderful celebrations at the arena, and the Canucks went 2-1. They hammered Nashville 6-2 on Monday night, and that was Legends night. Then they beat Chicago 3-0 on the back of Jacob Markstrom on the Sedin's retirement night, the Jersey retirement night, and then they lost 5-1 to Anaheim today on their community service night, so to speak. So again, 2-1. These are 3 teams that they should have beat because they're all below the Canucks in the standings. So very quickly, the Nashville game, a lot of neat scores like Ben, like Sutter, like McEwen, guys you wouldn't expect. Pedersen had 2 points, Miller had 2 points, Jacob Markstrom was good. And that was the night I actually met Tim Horvat, Bo Horvat's father. You guys may have seen the story. He actually recognized me in the concourse and said, "Hi, Clay, I'm Tim Horvat, Bo's father." And I was so surprised. I was so happy. I said, "Tim, how'd you recognize me?" He said, "I watch your vlog." So Tim, I'm not sure if you're watching these live streams as well, but Tim Horvat, thank you very much for being so courteous and taking the time out to meet me, introduce yourself to me. And I got excited that you watch my vlogs. That's pretty cool. Then on Wednesday, of course, Kevin Bieksa bringing the house down. And it was a wonderful night. All the retired players, the former players, the GMs, everyone that had a hand in the Sedins and who they were. Wonderful 1-hour ceremony. It was amazing inside the arena. I'll get to more of that in a second as I answer your questions. And then the Canucks won 3-0 based on Jacob Markstrom's 49 save effort. Then we get to tonight, a nice, simpler pregame ceremony. Many of the charities and foundations that the Sedins are involved in brought 3 or 4 kid representatives out. A beautiful image, actually, the ceremonial face-off. And then the Canucks went on to lose, though, 5-1. They didn't look good. And I tweeted about this. The one thing I did notice in watching the highlights, poor defensive coverage. 3 of the 5 goals, giving up cross-ice passes. Another one where Jordy Menk got walked. Another one where Getzlaf did that, that short side pass behind the net. And I've talked about that before, that the Canucks give up that pass a lot. They don't. I think they got scouted well. The fact that Getzlaf was able to make that short side pass behind his back on the power play. So lots to talk about. If you're wondering, I'm not going to make it suspenseful. My son Sean will be coming down at 10:45, 10:50 tonight to wind up the last 10 to 15 minutes of this live stream. So like always, it's a chance, depending on which kid it is, it's a chance to ask them any questions. So for the last 15 minutes, all the questions will go to Sean. You can ask me as well, but if you can direct them to who you want the question to, either Sean or me, but it's a chance to get Sean's point of view. And unlike Jacob, who doesn't know much about the Canucks, but he does a pretty good job faking it, Sean does know a lot about the Canucks, and I thought it'd be appropriate to bring him down tonight on the culmination, the conclusion of Sedin week. So there we go. 2 wins, 1 loss. The Canucks fall to second place in the Pacific Division. They are 1 point below Edmonton now. The Canucks were in first place from January 18th, that Lunar New Year game, but since then, so they held it basically for almost a whole month, but now they're 1 point behind Edmonton, equal amount of games, so it's pretty close, right? Edmonton, Vancouver, then Vegas, then Calgary and Arizona. So let's get to your questions and let's see how we do. And here we go. HSF Fangirl Gaming, always the first one in with a question. I appreciate you. Hey Clay, just wanted to know your thoughts on Sedin's jersey retirement ceremony, and it looked neat from my TV. Yes, it was wonderful. The production values were excellent. There was a great spirit in there. The only thing that was bad was that the players couldn't hear Kevin Bieksa's speech and the Sedin speech, because I noticed they didn't have a monitor or a speaker down on ice level. That's just something as a production guy that I noticed, but you could tell on TV that they couldn't hear, and Bieksa made light of that a couple times. But overall, good flow, good emotion, good humor, well done, very, very technically sound. Aside from that, and the transitions were really good. I thought it was great, and not to sound like a jerk, but of course I love being in the arena, but I also think you get just as good of an experience at home. Yeah, sure, you don't get the crowd and the buzz, but you certainly get better audio and visual for watching from home, watching from the TV. So I'm glad, HSM Fangirl, that you were able to enjoy it. But yeah, there's a really good mood, and because that happened from 6 to 7, and then they had the warm up, the puck didn't drop to about 7:40, 7:45. The crowd was already amped. It was already a sellout, and they were excited for the game right from the very start, as opposed to more of a sleepy start from the crowd. I just feel bad for people in Chicago staying up to watch that game, to watch their team. It didn't start till 9:45 their time, so obviously that meant a 12:15, 12:30 bedtime for them if they went to bed right after the game. But overall, great tribute, well done, and of course the Canucks played well. So great question. Harry. Hi Clay, not the result we wanted today, but at least got a point for Elias Pettersson for sure. Yes, that was a wicked power play, one-timer. Going to the game on Wednesday, sweet. Let's hope we can win this game against the Wild. Yeah, that's awesome, Harry. I know I didn't get a chance to see you the last few games. Oh no, what am I talking about? I saw you. Yeah, actually, that's one thing I should talk about. On Wednesday, we had a meeting of the GLCPC. That's what I forgot to mention. Wednesday, right before, it was at 5:45, so 15 minutes before the game. The GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club that I founded, but it's growing by leaps and bounds. And we had about 14 or 15 of us that we met together about 15 minutes before the ceremony started. It was awesome. You guys saw the picture. It was like a bunch of shorter, average-sized person and one really tall guy. That's Harpsma, one of the viewers and one of my followers on Twitter. And some people called him my bodyguard, which is fine. I joke we could be a tag team, the big man and the big mouth. You can guess who's who. But overall, it was wonderful to chat, even for 15 minutes. I think a few people were stressed about getting their seats and stuff, but it was really, really cool to take that picture and to celebrate GLC PC membership. So Harry, nice to see you, and have fun on Wednesday for sure. Lori, hi Clay, hello. Lori, Fernando, hi Clay, hello Fernando, thanks for being here. Jackie, hi Clay, how do you feel about the Canucks right now? Good question, Jackie. I do like the way that they vaulted themselves to first place in the division, now second place. I have concerns, grave concerns about their game though. I think even during the winning streak, they were bailed out many times by good goaltending. And of course, you need good goaltending as part of the team. We're not going to say the rest of the team was bad or that we're going to excuse the rest of the team or say it's only because of the goaltending. But we know that the goaltending was the main reason why. But they're not going to get away with that, last stretch of last 2 months and then heading to the playoffs. So how do I feel? I feel okay. I don't feel over the moon. I'm not like really confident they're going to come in first, although no one's running away with it in the Pacific Division. So I definitely think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they put themselves in a good spot. Yes, they're only 4 points up on the last wild card, but remember, there's 6 or 7 teams jumbled in that right now, even more than that, 7 or 8 teams jumbled in that. So I do think they're going to make the playoffs, but I also do think that they got to really clean up 2 areas, their defense and then their penalty kill. Both that hurt them tonight. Then of course you missed Brock Besser, you're worried about Michael Ferland, and you still have Josh Levo out as well. So we're missing some decent players, some high quality players, and obviously we need them back. But great question, Jackie. How do you feel about the team? You leave a comment down below. I'd love to read it. Harry, I'm wearing a team like that shirt right now. Very good. Repping the GLCPC as you should. Anula, hi Clay. Hello Anula, you're in Sweden, right? I think I got that right. The Chinner. Hey Clay, what were your thoughts on Sedin week overall? I thought the Canucks did quite well with the Legends Night, Sedin jersey retirement. That was an expensive week, lots of merch. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, especially if you spend a lot of money. I thought the week was perfect. 3 games, all with a different focus. Legends on Monday night, Naslin, Smeal, Linden, and then Bure by taped message. Then Wednesday night, and then Community earlier today. I thought the seeding week was good. You know, originally, I think many of you, I've told you, you've seen in my videos, I thought they were going to pick February 22nd, next Saturday, because that would be 2-22, the whole play on numbers of 2 and 3, the 22 for Daniel, and it would be against Boston. But I've heard different things that the Canucks actually, Sedin's actually chose this game, worked with the NHL to make it so the Chicago Blackhawks were the team that they celebrated their retirement against. That would make sense, given their battles and the respect they have for guys like, as they mentioned, Taves, Kane, Seabrook, Sharp, and who's not there anymore. And so Taves, Kane, Seabrook, Keith, you know, guys like that. But I was just surprised it wasn't on a Saturday night as opposed to a Wednesday night, but, you know, no big deal. But yes, I thought it was done well, produced well, proper emphasis put on the Sedins without going overboard, if that makes any sense. I thought it was a great week overall. And yes, it could be very expensive if you bought a lot of stuff. Great point, the Chinner. That was good. Fernando, praying for you and your family. Thank you, Fernando. Appreciate that. George, do you ever see Pettersson, Besser, or Hughes leaving the Canucks in the future? Well, George, that depends on what you call future. I think ultimately, maybe one or two, I don't want this, but maybe one or two do not finish their career with the Canucks. I think that's fair to say. The Sedins were maybe, I got to recognize this because it just popped up on my screen. I don't know how I can miss it. There's a big green sign that says Daniel Hammond donated $5. Daniel, thanks again. You know, I don't expect it. I would dare say I don't need it, and I don't say that, to be cocky or whatever. I don't do this for the money, as you know, but I do, Daniel, I do appreciate you donating that $5. Amazing, very generous of you, and I really appreciate your support, not just financially, but of course, taking the time to watch these videos. So Daniel, shout out to you, donating $5. Give him a thumbs up, or give the video a thumbs up in recognition of Daniel. I appreciate you, Daniel. Thanks very much. Okay, George, do you ever see Pettersson, Besser, or Hughes leaving the Canucks in the future? You know, someone like the Sedins or Edler, someone who's with a franchise for their entire season is not completely uncommon, but it's not the most common thing ever. I could see one of them, and I'm not going to say who. Oh, well, I think the Canucks will really want to lock Pettersson and Hughes up long term. But remember, even if their next contract is already 6 or 7 or 8 years, the maximum, they're still going to be in line for another contract after that. That's why we see big UFAs moving around the league sometimes, like for instance, a John Tavares as a good example. So do I ever see them leaving in the future? Yeah, I could see one of them leaving in the future, just not in the short-term future. Besser still, we have the rights after this 3-year contract ends, and of course we have the rights after Pettersson and Hughes' contract ends. We already want to probably up them to a long-term, but when they're hit UFA status, you never know what the salary cap looks like. If there are other good players that come along, if they become injury, plagued, whatever it is, there's so many things that can happen. So it's hard for me to say for sure that those 3 guys are going to be Canucks for life. I would love it to be. All 3 of them are very important, but I think we need to be realistic and recognize that maybe one, if not more of them, might move on, might end up not finishing their career as a Vancouver Canuck. You look at a guy look at the legends. Here's a good example. Smeal was the only Canuck that stayed Canuck for his entire career. Linden, Naslund, and Bure all went to other teams, and yet their numbers are up in the rafters. So something to think about. Great question. Hey Clay, thoughts on the February 12 game? I thought it was a cheap win. Also, will you be going on the 22nd? I'm not sure what you mean about cheap win. Oh, I think you're probably talking about the fact that Markstrom bailed us out. Sometimes you win games like that. Sometimes you lose games like that. I think the crowd was good. I think Markstrom was obviously outstanding. Brandon Sutter had 3 points, but the rest of the team just okay. So whether you call that cheap or lucky or unbalanced, whatever it was, yeah, it wasn't the most conventional win. I'll put it that way. And no, I won't be going on February 22nd. I'm actually not going again until March. So I hope you enjoy that game apparently against Boston. Thoughts on Tyler Myers from Austin, and do you think we should get Simmons? Okay, Myers, he's been struggling. He had a decent start to the season. He hasn't been great. I do like the way he sticks up for teammates like he did today as well. And I'm surprised that Harmon wrote about this in The Athletic. I'm surprised that he doesn't have better gap control, given his speed and his long reach. I just think he's okay. I think we're starting to see some of the things that people worry about when we signed him for that long-term contract. But I also think he can be a very effective player for our team. So I think he's been okay. As for Wayne Simmons, I talked about this at length last week. I don't think we should get him. I think there's other guys that are cheaper that could do a job just as good as him, but I know he's a good leader. I know he sticks up for his teammates. And the sad news about Michael Furlan, it's hard to say if that's going to affect the way the Canucks go into this trade deadline. But if it was up to me, no, I would not bring in Wayne Simmons, as much as he sounds like a good guy and very well respected by his teammates. Ojin Lee, Who do you think has been the team's dark horse player this year? Anyone who doesn't get the recognition you think they deserve? Great question. I think JT Miller. Say, well, Clay, how can he not be getting the recognition? He's the second highest point getter on the Canucks. He came in today's game, tied with Pedersen. Pedersen with his goal moved 1 point ahead. But I still think JT Miller is overlooked. Pedersen gets the attention. Hughes gets the attention. Besser, Horvat, Markstrom get the attention, and rightfully so. But JT Miller is probably being our second best forward this season behind Elias Pettersson. So I think he gets more kind of a dark horse sometimes. I think Jake Virtanen has had a really good season, although he's very popular. So it's not like he doesn't get the recognition. And maybe Tanner Pearson, he's slowed down quite a bit, but I still think he's had a really good season as well. Great question. Anula, is it only the number one spot in the division that goes to playoffs? No, Anula. Picture this, in the Western Conference, the two divisions, the top 3 teams make it. So 1, 2, 3 in the Pacific, 1, 2, 3 in the Central. And then the next 2 best teams make it as wild cards. So there are 8 teams that make it from the Western Conference and at least 3 from the Pacific. It could be 4, it could be 5, depending on how well the 2 wildcard teams, but at least 3 spots go from each division, Pacific and Central, and then the 2 next wildcard spots. And basically, the playoffs are still broken on division. You have your Pacific Division and your Central Division. 2 and 3 from each division play each other. Number 1 from Pacific plays against, and the number 1 in the Central play against the 2 wildcard spots. Whoever has the higher point total right now would be the St. Louis. It would be the Central Division. They play against the weaker wild card, and that weaker wild card, position number 8, actually plays in the Central Division for the playoffs. Similarly, if Vancouver or Edmonton win the Pacific, but they're lower than St. Louis, they come in as the 2nd seed, and then they play against the better wildcard team, which will be the 7th overall team, and that wildcard team then plays in the Pacific. So you can conceivably have a Central team playing in the Pacific or a Pacific team playing in the Central, and you could have, if that wildcard team beats, wins 2 rounds, you could have a Central versus Central or Pacific versus Pacific, but that rarely happens. But that could happen if it goes. But to answer your question, no, at least 3 teams from the Pacific will make the playoffs. Great question. Laura, did you win the Budweiser first goal? I think I saw your tweet. Congratulations. Where do you see us finishing at the end of the season? Oh, good question. I still think the Canucks can win the division, but I see them finishing 2nd or 3rd, and I see actually Vegas winning the division. I still think, despite Connor McDavid being out, Leon Draisaitl playing out of his mind, now opened up a 13-point lead in the scoring race. I still see Edmonton falling out, at least out of first, despite that they're there right now. I see Vegas winning the division, and I see Vancouver coming in 2nd, and then Edmonton and Calgary battling for 3rd. That's the way I see it. It's so tight right now again. There's only a 3-point gap between the 5 teams, but I see Vancouver coming in 2nd, so that means they will at least have home ice advantage for the first playoff round. But that's what I see. Tell me what you guys see down below. That's a great question too. Really good questions today. Below Mini. Oh, a new name. Awesome. Do you think they'll make the playoffs? I'm not 100% convinced. Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't see that before I answered. I do think they'll make the playoffs. I don't think it's a 100% guarantee, but I think they can turn it around, especially if Besser comes back and the Canucks shore up their defense a little bit. I do think they can make the playoffs. I'm not going to guarantee it, but I even tweet about this. I call it team playoffs instead of team playoffs. Obviously, you know why I call it playoffs. I do think they'll make the playoffs, but maybe not as the number 1 seed in the Pacific. Jamie's, hey Clay, how's it going with you, buddy? I'm great, Jamie's. How are you? Thanks for coming on. Joshua, what do you think Canucks always playing down versus lower teams in afternoon games and leaving Demko out to dry by only playing him once in the last few weeks and should play more downstretch? Oh, a lot of really good points there. Yes, you want to get Demko more games, but how do you take Jacob Markstrom out? Jacob Markstrom, I'm actually surprised that Markstrom didn't play today, given that amazing performance against Chicago. Markstrom has been out of this world for this season. Demko, whether it's you're thinking of expansion draft, trade value, or just for him, you want to see him develop. He didn't have the best game today. Didn't get a lot of help, but didn't have the best game today. But he was 7-0-1 heading into this game in the last 8 home starts. So yeah, I do think, it's funny, the Canucks dominated the shot clock, but Anaheim, as you saw, had a lot of good chances. So I would love the Canucks to play a little bit harder for Demko, but I think the Canucks have equally been bad in front of Markstrom and Demko, and both of them have been bailing the Canucks out quite a bit. That's why I'm a tiny bit concerned about their play. Playing down against lower teams, yeah, but they beat Nashville by 4, they beat Chicago by 3, albeit because of Markstrom. And yeah, they do get up for, they played, Vegas and Edmonton and other pretty good teams, quite strong, Washington. So it's tough. They don't do it intentionally, but maybe there's something there, or maybe we just don't see Demko enough. So we kind of notice the Demko games a little more. Great question, Joshua. Next is, are you going to the tweet up at the end of the month? Next is, if that's the one on February 28 or 29, no, I won't be able to because I'll be traveling to Kelowna for my kids' provincial bowling championships. But thank you for asking. So I believe I saw that February 28, 29, but I won't be able to go. Fillmore Wax, interesting that Canucks lost a bunch, yet so did our Pacific Division teams. Took this long to finally lose the top division spot. Yeah, exactly. The Canucks took over the lead January 18th. You might remember going to the All-Star break. They had 58 points. All four other teams had 57. And even in the month that's passed, no Pacific Division team has gone an extended run, right? Everyone's kind of won a couple, lost a couple. There's been nights where the Canucks have lost, but 3 out of the other 4 teams have lost as well. So that's why no one's broken away. And Edmonton has even made their 2 games up in hand, and they're only 1 point ahead. So yeah, that's a great point, Filmer, how it's pretty tight. And all it takes is for one prolonged winning streak for one of these 5 teams, and they have a good chance of sewing up first place. Great point. Edmund, oh man, I'm late. No problem, Edmund. You know me. I'm going to be talking for the next 40 minutes still, 45 minutes, and you can always watch the replay. But thanks for coming on, Edmund. Nexus, with what is being spent on trades, do you think the Canucks should sell high on Tanev and Markstrom? Great point. We know that Andy Green, defenseman for New Jersey, got traded today, and the Devils got back not only a young defenseman, but a second-round pick. So I see people saying if Andy Green goes for a second-round pick, then surely Tanev can go for a second or even a late first-round pick. That's a great point, Nexus. Yeah, if you're only going to keep Tanev or Stetcher and you know that you're only going to keep one of them and you already know which one you're going to keep, I think you do have to start looking at trades. But don't sell the farm. Don't give them away because you might still be confident that you can sign at least one of them. But it's really up to the Canucks what they have in their plans. Is it Tanev? Stetcher had a bit of a rough night tonight. Tanev's been playing better offensively, but Tanev also plays with Hughes. You guys know I think we should still keep Stetcher, not just because he's a Richmond guy, but I think he plays more of the game, that the way that the NHL is trending. But Tanev is so strong defensively. So you can't really go wrong with either one. But yes, I think that they should definitely consider it. That's a great point. But I wouldn't sell high on Markstrom. I wouldn't sell Markstrom yet. I know there are a lot of people that really love him. A lot of people aren't sold on him, or at least saying get value for him now because we have Demko. But are you convinced of Demko right now, or do we still need to see more games? But that's going to be something that's going to be fascinating. Trade deadline is a week from today. Going to be a lot of interesting talk up to that. Great question. The Chinner, what do you think of the Besser injury? No update today and 3rd game missed. Yeah, I talked about this in my vlog yesterday. I saw footage from Dyson Ice. He was shaking hands, so I don't think it's a hand or a wrist injury, but he wasn't like bear hugging anyone either. So it might be a shoulder. It might be an upper body. I want to wait to reserve judgment until we hear an update, but obviously concerning. Still one of our best goal scorers, best offensive players, and we certainly need him in the lineup for sure. Great question. Justin Lai, hi Clay. Hello, Justin. Jamie's, tonight was WWE NXT TakeOver, and what do you think of the show? I think it was an awesome show. Jamie's, I did not watch the NXT TakeOver, so I can't comment on it. I'll have to look it up on the internet later. Patrick, does anyone get fired if they miss the playoffs by 1 or 2 points? Good question. Sorry, I thought you were talking in general. Do people get fired? I was gonna say, yeah, people get fired all the time. But if you're asking, will anyone get fired if the Canucks miss the playoffs by 1 or 2 points? I don't think so. I think the Canucks are actually playing above expectations this season. And then they kind of found themselves, wow, we can actually win this whole division because no one else is running away with it. So if the Canucks miss the playoffs by 1 or 2 points, no, I don't think Travis Green will get fired if that's what you're asking. However, if they miss by a lot more than that, perhaps, and I think next year will be Travis Green's last chance to make the playoffs before they fire him, especially, you think of that first round draft pick that now, by the way, Tampa Bay traded away. You guys might saw that today. But overall, if it's a close playoff miss, I don't think that Green gets fired. But if it's 5 points or more, given where they're at now, perhaps. So I don't think so. I think Jim Benning really likes Travis Green. And, depending if he wins, gets 5 more points, or if it swings the other way, he could be a Coach of the Year candidate. So we'll see. But that's a really good question, too. Edmund, I would say today was one of the Canucks' worst games. Yeah, the afternoon game is not so good. Too bad because it was a disappointing end of the Sedin week. But they actually dominated the faceoffs and the shot total, but didn't look like it on the play for sure. Of the limited part that I saw, I just was able to check out highlights afterwards. Daniel Hammond, $5. Once again, Daniel, thank you very much for your generosity. I really, really appreciate it. Lori, do you think the Anaheim Ducks hockey outfits look like the Chicago Blackhawks until the logo was seen? color only. I actually, if anyone knows the story about why Anaheim wore those orange, was it us? Did that force us to wear white, or did we choose to wear white? I actually didn't read a lot about it, so if anyone knows the story, please put it down in the comment. I'd love to read it for myself and then read it out as well. But yeah, Lori, Anaheim, I don't think they looked a lot like Chicago, just from the orange-red color maybe. Next 649, Yo, Demko was so bad today, off night for a man. Yeah, next 649, he wasn't great. But he also didn't get a lot of help. 3 of the 5 goals were cross-ice passes. Another one was from behind the net. He was looking the other way, but poor defensive coverage by Edler. And then the 5th goal, Jordy Ben got walked and made it a 2-on-1. So, yeah, you like your goalie to make a big save here and there. But, yeah, I'd agree. Demko wasn't his best game, but you can't pin the loss slowly on him. Justin, rough loss today, but I feel like the next few games they'll need to respond with better team defense and not relying on Markey to bail them out. With that being said, I think they're playoff bound. I agree with you. We know the next games are against Minnesota with their new coach. That's a winnable game. Then Boston, that's always fun. And then they play Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, their annual East Coast or Central Canadian trip to wind up the month. And Montreal and Ottawa are definitely, all 3 of them are actually, Toronto are definitely winnable games, but that'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, I'd say of the next 5, only Boston and Toronto are playoff caliber teams. The Canucks should win at least 3 of the next 5. At least that's the hope. Great point. Nucks 649. I think the Canucks will miss playoffs by 2 points, bro. I'm actually gonna cry. I want playoff hockey, bro. Yeah, bro. I think if the Canucks miss the playoffs, I'll cry too. But yeah, I'm a little more optimistic. I think they'll get 2nd or 3rd in the division. But you're saying they missed by 2. We will see. For this standpoint, I hope that I'm right and you're wrong, but we'll see. Apparently, if the Canucks suffer more injuries, could that cost them playoffs? Yes, I think you say that about a lot of teams, but especially a team like the Canucks where the margin for error. So imagine, I don't want this, and I don't believe in jinxes, but imagine injury to one of our top players. I think that would be hard to overcome given how tight the Pacific Division is. Good question. Edmund, I do think Canucks will bounce back for as well. I do too, Edmund. And for trade deadline, I do wonder if there's any player other than Wayne Simmons, because with Ferland's injury, I think Benning will have to add a little more grit. Yeah, and I saw a stat today that I've been talking about the Canucks have enough team grit, but I saw a stat today that said that Miller, Virtanen, Schaller, Pearson, all did not register a single hit today, which is kind of crazy. So we'll see what Jim Benning does. He does seem the type who would like to beef up the roster a little bit with more grit, but we'll see, as long as he doesn't wreck the chemistry of the team. Patrick Starr, can Hughes have a big chance to win the Calder if he gets 6 or 7 points on Makar? Great question, Patrick, and I brought this up before. Hughes is 3 points up now on Makar, and Makar has played 9 fewer games, but it's not like it's... I say this, if Makar wins the scoring race by playing 9 fewer games, then yeah, I think Makar has a good chance. But if Hughes wins the scoring race, even if it's by 3 or 4 points, in fact, if it ended today, I would say Hughes, there's something to be said about consistency too. Because if Hughes doesn't miss any more games, he'll finish with 81 games, right? He missed that one. So imagine if Hughes beats Makar by 4 or 5 points, yet plays all 81 games, and you have Makar at 5 points less, but 72 games. I actually don't think that people are going to say, oh, Makar did it in less games, his points per game is better. I actually think people are going to say, wow, Quinn Hughes played this entire season as a rookie. So to answer your question, I don't want to say it's just going to come down to the scoring race, but if Hughes wins the scoring race by 4 or 5 points at least, even 3, I think he's got a really good chance of winning the Calder. I really do, and depending on how well the Canucks do as well. I think we all want it, but no disrespect to Makar. Makar is an excellent player as well. Obviously, we'd love to have him on our team. Laura, do you think Markey will be a Vezina candidate? That's a really good question. Top 3 goaltender. You hope he got some, people start to notice him at the All-Star game. You have guys like Vasilevsky, obviously, who are good. Actually, I should have looked up who's doing really well from a stats perspective right now. But is Markstrom a top 3 goalie? Wow, that's a really good question. You think of the really good teams, like there's Bennington, who's paled off a little bit, but his team's doing really good. Boston, of course, is getting really good goaltending from Tuukka Rask. You look at the Vasilevsky and Tampa Bay, you look at the really top teams, and you kind of see where they're getting their good goaltending from. Like Dallas is really rising up the standings. So, is he better than Bishop, Vasilevsky, Rask, and Binnington? I think those are kind of 4 of the guys he'd have to beat out, at least 1 or 2 of them. So I'd say not right now, but I think he's knocking on the door. That's a great question, Laura. George, if we ever trade Demko, what do you think that we can get back from? Oh, that's tough to say. He hasn't really proved, as much as we think he's good, and I think he's really good, he hasn't really proven anything. So what do you get for Demko? Do you get a second? Do you treat him as valuable as an Andy Green? Or do you get a third and a player? I'm not sure. Well, you're not getting a first because he just hasn't proved himself. And you got to remember the goalie market, there's usually a lot of goalies that come in. So a lot of GMs won't want to give up a lot for a goalie. Great question. Maybe a second and a player or a third and a player. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Maybe, that seems a little high though when I say it, but maybe not. Great question. I'll stop saying great questions. Just presume that every question is a great question. I only say if a question is a bad question. How's that? Keith, with the Furlan injury, do you think a move is coming? Good question. I talked about that a little bit earlier. Does that maybe make the Wayne Simmons rumors even more poignant? Are they looking for someone else? Are they hoping that Josh Levo comes back in time? Who knows? But with the Furlan injury, it's not like they haven't really used it. He's only played 14 games this entire season. So it's not like, I think you could look at it as more Besser's coming back hopefully soon, and Josh Levo will be back by March. And maybe that's what you look at as your trade deadline acquisitions. I'm okay with them making minor moves, even for rentals, as long as they're not giving up enough, but giving up a lot. But that's so hard to judge, right? And especially with the trades today that we saw. Value, it looks like you could get value for guys. So that means how much you want to give away to get a rental player. So do I think a move is coming? Maybe a minor move, but I just don't know who it would be. But that's a really interesting thing to think about. And it's going to be fascinating to watch over the next 8 days. Laura, yeah, I did. Congrats. Excited to use the light for the rest of the year and hopefully class. That's cool. I think you won a Bud Light. I just have an actual light, siren light. I just have one that's it's at the bottom of a Vancouver Canucks cup, and then it lights up when the Canucks score, when I remember to bring it out. So that's cool, Laura. Congratulations. Jamie, do you think that Markstrom will re-sign with us? I do. We've heard that they're far away right now, that Markstrom wants a 5 or 6 year. Canucks have offered 3. They might meet in the middle at 4. Then, of course, there's money. Is it $5 million? Is it $6 million? But everything that Markstrom says, it sounds like he wants to be here. And I think he does appreciate all the Canucks have done for him this season. When he's played really well and he lost his father. So I think that means a lot, that comes into consideration. I don't know how much of a hometown discount he gets. Obviously, his agent will want him to take any discount. So we'll see. But to answer your question, I do think he will resign. I just don't know what the terms are going to be. I've heard a lot about a 5 year, $6 million, like a $30 million contract. I think the Canucks resign. Oh, there we go, George. I think the Canucks resign Markstrom. I think a 3 year deal with $6 million is fair. What do you think? I think $6 million is good, but I don't think, George, you're going to get him for $3 million. I just finished saying before I read your question that the Canucks offered 3, but Markstrom wants 5 or 6. So then that means, the middle point, at least the starting point, is 4. If you give 3, you're going to have to give more than $6 million, I think. If you want them for a lesser term, you're going to have to spend more. I don't think the Canucks want to do that, given that they still have to pay out Pettersson and Hughes in the next few years. So I think we're at least looking at a 4 year for $6 million, if I had to pick. That's a good question. Oh, I said I wasn't going to say that. That's a good question. Edmund, so wondering if someone can explain the draft pick Canucks traded. So if the Canucks make it, does New Jersey automatically take? Yeah, so don't worry about which team has the pick. Edmund, for this trade, when they traded for JT Miller, basically amidst all the other players that went, backup goalie, 3rd round pick, in essence, the 1st round pick means it's either this season, 2020, this summer, or 2021. It's whatever year the Canucks make the playoffs. That's the year that the pick goes. So, for instance, if the Canucks make the playoffs this year, then our 1st round draft pick will be in the bottom half of the 15 picks, right? The bottom half of the 1st round. And therefore, that pick goes to Tampa Bay, now New Jersey. If the Canucks do not make the playoffs this season, that means we get to keep our 2020 draft pick. And then no matter what happens in 2021, if we make it or we don't, that pick goes to Tampa Bay, now to New Jersey. So I hope that makes sense. Basically, we keep the pick this year only if we don't make the playoffs. If we do make the playoffs, the pick goes to Tampa, now New Jersey. And if we don't make the playoffs this year and we keep our pick, that means next year, no matter what happens, it's going to go to Tampa, now New Jersey. So yes, New Jersey has our pick this year if we make the playoffs. New Jersey has our pick next year if we don't make the playoffs. Hope that clears it up, Edmund, and that makes sense. Justin, what up, Clay? Hey, Justin, all the way from Pittsburgh. Thanks for joining. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for your engagement. And if you want to check out a good YouTube channel, check out Justin Miner's page. He's very, very good. Justin, I'm not sure if you do daily. You don't do the daily Pittsburgh anymore, though, right? You kind of do more topical stuff, but you can correct me in the comments below. But thanks for coming on, Justin. Patrick, if we make the playoffs, the pick goes to Tampa. If not, 2021. Yes, there you go. Exactly. Thanks, Patrick. You just said it a lot more succinctly than I did. Austin, What do you think of McEwen and Bailey's play? I think McEwen's been okay. You saw him try some dangles today, and he got bumped up to the second line with Horvat and Pearson for a bit. Bailey, it's tough. He hasn't really gotten a chance, right? 3 minutes in one game, a few minutes here and there. But when he's had those few minutes, he hasn't done much. In fact, the 2 games I saw him in, Monday and Wednesday, he was making horrible turnovers or bad passes, and Travis Green, doesn't stand for that. So it's kind of like catch-22. You need these young players to be able to earn their ice time and get ice time and make those mistakes. Yet, if you're going to take away that ice time anytime they make a mistake, it's very hard for them to earn that ice time. So we'll see. Tim Schaller got in today, didn't do a lot. Maybe Bailey gets in again. But yeah, I think McEwen's been okay, and I think Bailey's been disappointing, but I'd love to see Bailey get more of a look. Who's the new face of the Canucks? Petey, Hughes, or Besser? I don't think it's Besser. It's funny, though. It was Besser until Pettersson came along. And then I still think, though, as dynamic as Hughes is, I would still say that Pettersson is the face of the Canucks, but Hughes isn't far behind. And especially if Hughes wins the Calder this season, then I think we have a real discussion. But if, say, Makar wins the Calder, and that means Pettersson's the only one of the 3 that win the Calder. If Pettersson wins the scoring race, I still think that Pettersson is the face of the Canucks. But I think Hughes can easily grow into that as well. Nothing wrong with having 2 faces of the Canucks. Daniel, if Michael Furlan doesn't come back playing, then in a way I'm okay with it because of his past injuries, what he has to go through, but at the same time we need a player like him. Yeah, so from a hockey standpoint, we need a player like him, and you can quibble or you can, lament the 4-year contract we signed him to, and if that might force the Canucks to make a hockey decision before the trade deadline. But you got to feel for him. The guy works so hard to come back, and yeah, I tweeted, Rick Dollywall quoted the Furlan's agent saying, imagine if Canucks fans feel frustrated, imagine how it is for Furlan. And I tweeted back and I said, I don't think we're frustrated. I think we're concerned. And that tweet got a lot of play, but it's true. That's how I felt. And I don't know about any of you. I've had 1 concussion before. It's pretty darn scary. And I don't play pro hockey, right? Although I did suffer at playing hockey. So none of us know what he's going through exactly. Every situation is different. But yes, shut him down for this season. Please, shut him down for the season. And then let him train over the summer if he wants to, and then see if he can come back fully healthy for training camp in September. It's just not worth it. He's got a new baby at home, and he's got to think about his family and himself first. And I think 99% of Canucks fans understand that. It's just I don't want to get into contract talk now, or I know a lot of people are upset at the contract, but for now we should really be thinking about him and praying for his recovery. Good question. Oh, I just did it again. But Daniel gives me money, so I can tell Daniel all his questions are good as much as I want. Daniel, I don't know who to replace him. I do not recommend Wayne Simmons. I agree with that. I talked about that earlier. Thanks, Daniel. Justin, the home team has to agree to allow the road team to wear alternate colors. Okay, thank you, Justin. So there we go. Maybe Anaheim wanted to wear it for a reason, and then we agreed. And maybe it was a nice little look, a different look. It's not why we lost because we were wearing white, but it's a nice different look. Remember, that's how it used to be. Home teams used to wear white, and then you get to see all the visiting teams, all their colors come in, but they swapped that many years ago. Keith, please not Simmons. I agree. There you go. Next is Canucks want to wear whites just for the game. Anaheim requested to use their oranges, so they only had to bring 1 set of jerseys on this road trip. Oh, Canucks want to wear white just for the game. Anaheim requested to use oranges. So it worked out. If the Canucks wanted to wear white, that's good. And if Anaheim had only orange as opposed to their dark, maybe because they wore it somewhere else on the trip, then that makes sense. So I'm glad it worked out from both standpoints. It's not like it was hard to tell who was who. Orange versus white. Great. Thanks, Nexus, for that. I really appreciate that. Very good. Edmund, once Brock gets back, do you think will get past 20 goals? Ooh, good question. Brock is at, how many goals is Brock at right now? 16 goals in 56 games. Let's say he plays 15 more games. I think he can get 4 more goals in 15 games, for instance, and that's shooting low, right? 15 games, maybe he comes back soon and he gets to play 18 or 20. So yes, I do think Brock can hit 20. Dan, Clay, what do you think the Canucks collapse system in their own zone? Any team with the ability to move the puck around makes us look like Pee-wees out there. Yeah, I've talked about this a lot. The reason why the Canucks give up so many shots is I believe, like with any good goalie, if they believe if Markstrom can see it, he'll stop it. So they don't mind collapsing. They don't mind giving up the point shot, although you worry about deflections. But if they believe that Markstrom can see it, that he'll stop it, that's fine. But the Canucks collapse so much that they don't get out to the points quick enough, and they allow a lot of shots, which is scary. But what concerns me more is their lack of awareness when it comes to cross-ice passing, or pinch, when a D-man pinch in, can they cover the point? Or the short side goal today that you saw gets that backhand out, and Edler had no clue what was happening. That's what concerns me more. And so the collapse system, with a really good skilled team, and almost all these teams are with skilled players, they can make us look bad just with one extra cross-ice pass, get one guy out of position. Now you have an odd man, 2-on-1, 3-on-2. And even Anaheim's first goal today, it looked like an instant play, right? They just come and bring it over the line. It looked like Canucks were fine, but Gaudette makes a bad read, and then now Stetcher's putting the puck in his own net because it became a 2-on-1 again. I'm not sure how a simple 2-on-2 or 3-on-3 became a 2-on-1. So I agree with you, Dan, that the Canucks are having some problems in their zone defensively. And if you describe to The Athletic, Harmon Dial wrote a really good article about the Canucks' woes in their defensive end. Great. I said it again. Good question. Justin. Canucks chose to wear white, I believe, as part of Sedin week, but the Flames asked if Ducks could wear their orange jerseys in the game. Ducks said yes, but in return asked Canucks. Yeah, so there we go again. Canucks asked for white. Ducks had orange. It worked out. Joshua. If Furls is out for the season, Canucks could use that cap money. Are Canucks able to use that cap money? And how would Kreider fit in the Canucks with them needing more grit opposed to Simmons? Yes, if you're on long-term injured reserve, you get that cap money. Not with just regular injury reserve, but on long-term injury reserve, you get the cap money. So the Canucks could use that prorated $3.5 million that Ferland makes. And I think Kreider would be a better fit, would be more exciting than Simmons. I've also heard that Kreider's talking to the Rangers to re-up there, and he'll be obviously more expensive than Simmons too, in what you have to give up. But good point. Justin, Canucks said yes to the Ducks, so it's less jerseys the Ducks had to pack. There you go. Kreider would cost too much. Yep, I agree with you, Nexus. Well, it's like we're all smart. Daniel, you don't have to say my questions are good. Well, fine, your questions, no, they don't suck. They're good. All questions are good. Kreider would cost too much to pick up. I like that idea, Joshua. Yeah, that's about Kreider. Keith, but also true. Yes, more expensive. Jamie, I think Markstrom should re-sign with us a lot. I say 7 years. What do you think of that? I think it'd be awesome. I think 7 years is too much because Markstrom, I think he's already 28 or 30. Regardless, I think 7 years is too much. I wouldn't, if I was the Canucks, I wouldn't go any more than 5 years. Nexus, Toffoli would be a nice pickup from LA. Foligno would also be nice from Mini. Yeah, both those guys, we saw Foligno a couple weeks ago, and then Toffoli, we talked about it last week. We know the chemistry with him and Pearson. He would be a great pickup, and maybe not as expensive as maybe he once was. So, a good point. Nucks. Wednesday's game against Wild is on my birthday, February 19th. Canucks better win on my birthday. Well, Nucks, happy early birthday, and yes, I hope they do win on your birthday. Dan Hughes with way more primary apples, assists, and drives the play. Makar is getting carried way more. Yeah, that's a good point. I agree that, if we're talking about potential Calder Trophy chances for Hughes, that's a really good point, Dan, that it could be, that another reason why Hughes could win. Is it Nihal or Nile 97? Do you think that Brock Besser will be able to score 40 goals one season or get to 82 points? Oh, he's so early. It's only his third season. Is he going to score 40? I think the Canucks hope so. He might turn out to be an average 30, 35 goal scorer, and that would be just fine. 40 is tough to get to in this league, especially when you're on a team with Pettersson and Miller. You think that might help you, but you might be getting more assists than goals like Besser's doing this season. So 40 might be a stretch for Besser, but maybe he turns into a regular 30 to 35 goal scorer, and I think that would be pretty good. 82 points, that's tough. Is he a point per game player? Not bad. To this season, 45 and 56, so not yet. I think it's possible, but I wouldn't say it's a guarantee for sure. Laura, do you think Demko will develop into how Markstrom is now? Good question, Laura. I had heard from someone inside the team 2 years ago that the Canucks have very high hopes for Thatcher Demko in terms of almost as high as Luongo type hopes. Now that's really, really good. We know how much the city loved Luongo, how well he played for us. Can Demko be as good as Markstrom? I think so. I no reason to say no. Why not? He's got the physical attributes. He's got the mental game. He's got the calmness, but he definitely needs a chance to develop. But that's a really good question. Well, I keep saying it. I take back my qualification. I can say when a good question is when I want. But yes, I think he can develop into a Markstrom, but he's probably a few years away for sure. Edmund, I do think Jim Benning will surprise us in the trade deadline. Not sure if he means he surprises by doing something or not doing something. Okay, I'm going to speed up a little bit because Sean's going to come down in the next 5 minutes. Here we go. Justin, young core and a GM with a history of great draft strategy. They should not trade anything this season. Justin, I know you're a big fan of the Canucks, and I know you don't just say that so I like you even more because I like you a lot already. But yes, I know, Justin, you are a big fan of the Canucks. And yeah, I think we should stay the course as well. We've seen how much we've improved just in this past season. Great point. Edmund, for Markey, I would go 4-year with last year being team option. That's a good choice, yeah. There's Sean.
Hi.
5 minutes?
What do you mean? Come in 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can just sit there, or you're bringing Mickey too?
No, I'm just giving you a treat.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, 5.
Okay, 5 minutes. Lucas, since New Jersey is blowing up, do you think Hughes signs with Canucks as a free agent to play with his brother Quinn? What would it take to get him by trade? I don't think he's going to come here. It'll be too much to give him up. His rookie season will be a little uneven, but he's still Jack Hughes. I think we're a long ways away from him seeing. He doesn't become a free agent there for another 5 or 6 years. He's got to do his 3-year and then another 3-year. Actually, it's in your 7th year where you become a true free agent. So no, I don't see him coming here anytime soon. What would it take to get to trade? Too much. Nux, do you think Canucks fan is really stressful because I'm stressed out right now? Yeah, Canucks fans always, any emotion you want to put in, stressful, distressing, jubilant, exciting, nerve-wracking, happy, depressing, all those things, sometimes in the span of one game. Dan, are team options even allowed under the CBA? Don't ever see this talked about. I don't know about that. Someone else answer that. Justin, no team or player options in NHL contracts. There you go. Thank you. God, you guys are good. You don't need me. I should just turn on this video and let you guys chat. Lori, I like the positivity of this chat. Unlike Twitter, some negative Nellies were talking about the team. Yeah, I think, thank you, Lori. Number one, I'm a very positive guy, founder of the GLCPC. Number two, if there's a negative comment, I'm not even going to read it out, so that's fine. Well, unless, I could read it out, to be fair. But yeah, I think people in here know me. They know my character, or know at least who I try to be, and frankly, I won't stand for too much negativity. I'm fine with honest opinion and disagreement or contextual discussion of the team. I'm not like just a blind optimistic fan. But yeah, it's very easy to be a tough guy on Twitter, right? You can say anything in 280 characters and not have to worry about any repercussions. So I see that a lot. Oh, by the way, there's this Twitter March Madness coming out that a guy named Daryl Keeping has done. It starts on March 1. It's a 64-person bracket of the best tweeter. Not the best YouTuber, not the best looking. Too bad for me, just kidding. But if you look for that, if you follow me on Twitter at CanuckClay, you'll see me start to post about that near the end of February. And then March 1 voting opens, and I would love your support. So there's a short plug for that March Madness Twitter bracket that's happening. Okay, let's go. Dan, didn't think so. I'd love to see no frills, buyouts. Anchor contracts are bad for the league. I agree. Justin, not doing anything anymore, just Twitter. Okay, so Justin, sorry I did not know that, but Justin's not doing YouTube videos, but still a good guy. And yes, Skimmer36, if you want to give him a follow on Twitter. Justin, I meant Horvat, not Bester. If you're talking about face of the franchise, I think Horvat, Pettersson, Hughes is what you're talking about. Yeah, Horvat kind of de facto is now as the captain, but I think Pettersson is just as equal. Austin, I actually like Bailey. I do too, just haven't gotten a chance. Did I see? Oh, let's see. Keep going. Edmund, I was at the Canucks team store. Still surprised the shop has no Jacob Markstrom and JT Miller player shirts available. Yeah, I'm surprised at that too, but maybe they're making too much money off Pettersson, Hughes, Bester, and Horvat. Nexus, Travis Green is way too quick to sit a young player. He needs to give a leash to Bailey and Max, sit Eriksson and Schaller. Nexus, that's a good point. Travis Green trying to win. If he trusts his veterans, I can see why. But yeah, I think as fans too, it's tricky, right? We want to see the young guys, but Travis Green is trying to balance, bringing young guys up and letting young guys like Demko, Hughes, Pettersson develop, Virtanen, yet trying to win as well. And if he trusts his veterans more, that's why we see Bailey only get 3 minutes a game sometimes. Great point. Do you think Quinn Hughes will be in the top 2 Calder Trophy at worst by season end? Thanks, guy. Luca, yes, I do. You may have missed my explanation. I think he's got a good chance to win, especially if he beats Cale Makar in the rookie scoring race. But yeah, he'll be top 2 for sure. It'll be a 2-horse race, the 2 defensemen. Austin, he's fast. Yes, I'm sure you're talking about Bailey, not me. Justin, who gives Clay a thumbs down? You are savage. Hey, maybe as soon as I start talking about being positive, I'm not sure when that thumbs down came, but that's fine. If whoever's gave me that thumbs down, if you want to reverse it, that's fine. But if you want to keep it there, that's fine as well. I can't tell you what to do, but thanks for coming in here only to give me a thumbs down. Then that's up to you. Not here to judge. Oh, look at all those thumbs up going now to counteract. It's fine, guys. I don't worry about ratio and everything, but thank you. That's very kind. Okay, last 2 minutes, then we get Sean here. I'm going to go super fast. Who are your top 5 Canucks in order? Presently, my favorite Canucks are Horvat, Pedersen, Hughes, Virtanen, and Besser. Let's go with that. Bryson, hey Clay, do you think if the Canucks trade Sven, retain 25% of salary and a 2021 third or fourth, would that be enough for Toffoli, or instead of the picks, then Goldie, don't you think he's in the Canucks' future? I do think Berchi and or Goldie got to go. They're not in the Canucks' future. They don't play the way that Travis Green likes. 25% of salary and a third. That's a lot, but because I don't want to give up any draft picks. But if you're getting Toffoli, maybe not a bad idea. I'd have to actually think about that, not when I'm in a rush. Sorry, that just came in too late for me to really, really think about it. Okay, last five, and then it's Sean. Alfred, what are your thoughts about the Canucks trading for this year's first-round draft pick? Do you see it happening? Do you mean getting a draft pick because we're giving away ours? No, I don't see it happening, although Jim Benning does like draft picks. Good question, Alfred. I need to think about that a little more. Dan, LTIR means Canucks can go shopping. Free agent, not free agent. Aquilini pays the bills, so Shrug Furley was worth the look. Yeah, and we're not writing him off completely. I'm just writing him off for this season. Sex symbol with a C. If not Simmons, then how about bring Michael Grabner? He's being scratched every night. What do you think, Clay? I think that Grabner's ship has sailed. I think they're not looking for a pure scorer. Oh, maybe they're looking for a scorer. He's fast too, but I'm not sure if he's on the Canucks radar right now. Glob and Toss, hey Clay, sorry I'm so late. Tell me what you think of this fourth line, Roussel, Scheller, McEwen, or the second line for Tannen, Miller, McEwen. Both are scary in playoffs. McEwen, I don't think makes our top 12 forwards if we're healthy in the playoffs. Just my opinion. Sorry I was late. I still love your videos, Clay. Goblin Toss, no problem. You can come in here anytime. That's fine. Markstrom is 30. The most reasonable offer is 4 years at 5.5 to 6.5 per year. I agree that it can't be longer than 5, and 4 would be great. Yeah, Justin, 3 times 4 times 6, 3 or 4 times 6. Yep. Not a ton of teams in the starting goaltender market. Yeah, there's a lot of goaltenders out there. That's the thing. The Vancouver Canucks should make a Hall of Fame, like how the Hockey Hall of Fame. What do you think? No, I think between the Sedin, the jerseys that are retired and the Ring of Honor, there's enough. I'm just whipping through these, but I want to make sure I honor all these. Here we go. We love talking with you, Clay. Thank you, Jamie. Love talking to you. Joshua, as a lifetime Canucks fan, how do we get the Canucks good-looking fan page? How do we join the Canucks good-looking fan? Oh, you're in, Joshua. GLCPC, you got to be good-looking, you got to be positive, self-admitting, no admission fee, no application. If you think you're good-looking and you're positive, then you're in. So, Joshua, you are in. Nux, who are the players the Canucks will get at the deadline? Sorry, Nux, I don't have time to go into that now. Ask that earlier next time. Goblin Toss, you're lucky I'm in the GLPC. I'm the best looking in the group besides you, of course. Hey, I think we're all equal good looking, but thanks. Real Straight, I'm here. What up? I'm late. Noi, whatever that means. Thanks joining for Rios. You're just in time to see Sean. Fernando, Clay, did you get your 22 and 33 pins? No, I did not. Were we supposed to get pins?
I don't know.
I don't know, actually. That's a good question, but I didn't get pins. I just got the shirt. But I'll get back to you. Good point, Fernando. Was I supposed to get them? Samsonov may steal the Calder. I hope not, but yeah, he is. He is playing well. And Goblin Toss, you should call your subscribers the GLCPCs. Goblin Toss, I think you're onto something. Okay, let's bring him in. This is my son, Sean. We're just going to take a second to adjust here. So, okay, thank you, Laura. Pens are being sold at the store.
Oh, that makes sense.
So you just put the chair on my hand.
Oh.
Okay. No, let's do it. I look so much fatter. Move up a little bit closer.
Move up.
Yeah, there. Brutal.
All right.
Okay. So this is my son, Sean. He's at Canuck_Sean on Twitter. And he's my eldest, first-year solder student at UBC. So with him, unlike Jacob, you can ask him about the Canucks, but you can ask him about real life as well. And Laura, pins are being sold at the store. Thank you, Laura, for taking care of me. Laura, it was nice to meet you last Monday, by the way. Here we go. Real Stred. Hey, Sean, did you tear up on Sedin night?
It was pretty bad. So Dad was at the game. I couldn't go. So I was out of the house, so I had to watch it on the Sportsnet app. But yeah, tearing up in the middle of public, that was a little awkward, but definitely worth it.
Good question, Rios. Alfred, good idea, Goblin Toss. Yes, you are now my GLCPCs. Like you're my Hulkamaniacs, kind of like that. Is that okay?
Fair.
GLCPCs. All right. Justin, Sean trivia time. Alfred, hi, Sean.
Hey, Alfred, how are you?
Goblin Toss, Sean, you looking good in glasses.
Appreciate it.
Take your glasses off for a sec.
Can't see.
Okay, yeah, you're putting back on. Jamie's. Hey, Sean, how's it going with you, buddy?
Doing great, man. Hope you're doing well, too.
Oh, actually, it's Jamie. I keep saying Jamie's, but that's like a possessive. Jamie's sports talk.
Jamie's.
Okay. Edmund, hey, Sean, are you a wrestling fan?
I used to be more. I watch it casually. We actually went to the live show What year was that?
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, we went to the
Not-
live show.
not the SmackDown, though.
We went to the live show last year. That was a lot of fun, but not following it very closely.
Yeah, but he sometimes when I'm watching Raw or SmackDown, I admit I watch Raw or SmackDown. He'll come down and watch with me too, and you know some of the angles and storylines, right? Okay, next 649. Sean, what grade, bro?
First year in university at UBC.
Taking what?
Taking commerce at the Sauder.
Laura, hey Sean, who are your top 5 favorite Canucks? Let's presume now.
Top 5 right now. I'll go Pedersen in no order. Sorry. I'll go,
No Oilers.
No Oilers. Screw the Oilers. Okay.
Don't say
Pedersen.
that. Why you say that?
Relax.
Okay.
I'll go Pedersen, Horvat, Hughes. I'll go Miller and I'll go Gaudette at number 5.
Wow. So no Besser in there.
No Besser, not yet. Well,
Okay.
he's not in my mind right now.
That's fine. Lori, hi Sean.
Hi,
Next 649. What age? How old are you?
18 right now.
Hey Sean, what's your favorite Canucks game you've been to?
Sedin's last home game against Arizona.
Yeah, and if you want to see my video when Arizona, that was the game where what happened before the game?
Oh, we went down to the bottom, give some knuckles before the game.
Like this.
Good time.
And then I joked about this last week in my vlog. He was very cool. I wasn't. So when Troy Stetcher walked by, you know, he would say like, "Let's go, Troy," or "Let's go get it," or whatever. I would say, "Richmond, Richmond." And when Bo walked by, I would be screaming, "Bo, bo, 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 bo." But he's like a cool guy. Like he was saying like, "Good job," or "Good game," or "Let's get it," or "Let's go." So and then that was the game where obviously they scored in overtime, and we both cried like 2 little girls. And not that there's anything wrong crying like a girl,
Nope, not at all.
especially for you. Austin, Sean, have you ever played hockey?
I never played ice hockey. I played a lot of street hockey.
And?
Played a couple seasons of like ball hockey for fun, but
How old were you?
I was probably about like 10 or 11.
Tell them how good you were. You could be honest.
Oh, I was a stud. I was the greatest cherry picker in the league.
So Sean, no stamina, but very fast. So he would actually wait at the center line, wait for just one of our defensemen just to loft it in the air out of our zone. But then the goalie could never stop Sean's dekes. He could go top shelf, backhand, forehand, through the legs. Very impressive.
I wasn't that good. I was kind of chubby.
Just because you're chubby doesn't
Yeah,
mean...
but I couldn't
like,
run.
There
I
are
couldn't
fat
run
guys that
there.
are good.
Yeah, no. Look at Phil Kessel.
Okay, but yeah.
Next.
But you're right. Not the best defensive player for sure. Sean, who's your favorite Canucks player right now
Right now, Bo Horvat
and of all time?
Henrik Sedin.
Very good. Sean, father like son. The
Yeah,
son.
Sweet. Next question.
Okay. All-time favorite player. All-time.
All-time favorite, Henrik Sedin.
How about non-Canuck to put you on the spot?
Non-Canuck, all-time. I'm actually non-Canuck all-time. I'll go. I actually really like Sidney Crosby. I've kind of grown up with him too, just watching him and his greatness. Plus the golden goal is pretty impactful. So Sidney Crosby.
So despite how long he took on that answer, you can see actually the answers with Sean go a lot faster because not that Jake's not that quick, but I think Jake just takes time to think of all the hockey ones really trip him up for obvious reasons. Let's keep going. Rios, you still look good without glasses, bud.
Appreciate you, Rios.
Patrick, what's your dream job?
Dream job?
Great question.
Ooh, maybe I'd love to be an agent one day for some players, hopefully some Canucks, but
He'll be
yeah.
the Asian Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, show me the money.
Show me the money. Yeah, agent, true. You'd be good at that. Sean, what is your favorite logo besides the skate? Mine is the Orca
skate?
because I'm growing up with it.
Yeah, I guess I really only know the Orca. The V, I didn't really like the
How about
V.
the stick and rink?
Stick and rink, I'm not a huge fan of. I like the Orca, but I like the skate the most.
And Rios just does say screw the Oilers.
Yeah, attaboy.
Next is Orca is terrible, needs to go. Okay, not a question. LOL, Dean, career aspiration?
Already kind of mentioned that,
Yeah,
I guess.
No, but he didn't know that. He
Yeah,
asked us
definitely,
before.
I know. But Dean, hopefully I'll be a sports agent one day.
All right. So any of you that are younger than him, that are really good athletes, remember him. Sean Emo. His slogan will be,
Show me the money.
Sean me the money.
Nice.
Okay, let's keep going. Sean doesn't like Besser. That hurt me inside, but hey, it's your opinion.
Yeah, it's not like I don't like him. I still
he's
love
not-
the guy.
he's not your top 5,
Not my
though.
top 5, but there's probably 15 guys that are in my top 5.
Favorite logo Canucks in history?
Skate.
The skate. All right, we're going. Jamie, hey Sean, tonight was WWE NXT TakeOver. What do you think of the show?
Didn't watch it, but I watched some highlights for
See,
you.
that's exactly what I said, Jamie. If I didn't watch it, of course he's not going to watch it. Justin, Was that the bad video you posted on Twitter the other day? Was that the bad video?
Probably the player.
Oh, Justin, are you talking about the fist bumping? The bad
Probably.
video? Why is that bad? Or maybe I admitted it was bad. Okay, clarify that, Justin. I want to get back to Edmund. Hi, Sean. I asked your brother this. If you were going on a date with your girlfriend in a game of bowling, do you let her win?
I don't let her win, but I'll play with the house ball, so I don't win by as much.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That's fair.
And speaking of girlfriend, Fernanda is here right now.
She's upstairs with Jake and Kayla
Hanging
and
out.
our dog Mickey. So
Yeah. Hi, Sean. Nice glasses.
thank you.
Is Sean going to be a pro bowler?
No, I'm not that good. I like to think I'm good, but I'm not that good.
Hey, no Kessel hates.
No Kessel.
Because Justin's from Pittsburgh.
Oh, sorry, Justin.
Jamie, my favorite Canucks are Linden, Bure, Naslin. Yep, all good. So you must be thrilled.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah. Justin Clay, your kid is a gem. He answered correctly in the Sidney Crosby response. Yes, he's a good kid. And not just because you're on here, Justin. Matthew, Sean, do you like boba?
Oh, love it. I had some like bubble tea.
I thought that was boba.
Not bofa. Bofa's very different. I don't like bofa. Yeah, pro milk tea. I'm a classic man.
I agree, Sean. Stick and rink is overrated. Oh, which NHL team do you dislike the most?
Dislike Oilers, but then can't go wrong with saying the Leafs. So
Okay.
one of those two.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't
Leafs
like,
suck.
I don't like Calgary. I don't hate the skate. I just don't like the colors. But the skate used the colors we have now. It looks sick. Yeah, the skate in blue, white, and green. Tough to imagine.
It's hard to see. You know what jerseys were really nice? The Utica Comets, when they had their kind of skate inspired jerseys, those were really nice.
Okay, we're gonna go for 5 to 10 more minutes because this is going by fast and good. Oh, by the way, I didn't credit. So how you doing? Which NHL team do you dislike the most? That was Edmonton or Toronto. You said. All right, Jamie. Hey, Alfred, Sean. Do you think the Canucks are going to make efforts to trade for this year's first round draft pick? So that was a question. You know how we traded it away to
traded
get
away.
JT Miller?
And now that pick's gone to
Right
New
now
Jersey,
it's down in
right?
New Jersey. Do you think that we should make an effort to acquire our first round pick back?
I think in the spot we are right now, trying to really push for the playoffs, I don't see us making a huge effort for a first rounder, considering what we might need to give up for it. But yeah, I think we can live without one of them, but I don't think we should be shopping next year's either.
Oh, Justin, about the video. It was mostly looking at players' feet and shaky. Yes. Yeah, Justin, as you know, I was so excited to actually make good eye contact with the players that when I was holding the camera, it was like this, and I was like, yeah.
Next time we do a GoPro.
GoPro or just have someone else film it for us. Yes, thank you, Justin, for the reminder. Rios, Boston, I hate that team.
Yeah, I don't like him either.
Fernando, favorite logo in the NHL?
Canuck skate jersey.
Pick another one.
Favorite logo?
Exit. No, you can't. No. No, let's just get on a better.
Okay.
Live!
Okay.
I think we're okay now.
Okay, that was very unprofessional.
Sorry about that, guys.
Our internet cut out. We lost.
Viewers dropped about.
We lost like everyone that was watching. But your bonus for being on here is that we're gonna answer the rest of the questions.
Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, we apologize. We gotta check the internet. Oh, good. Now all the numbers are shooting up. So for that, we're gonna stay for an extra 2 or 3 minutes, even though we basically lost everyone. I apologize. Okay, so let's finish this off. Leafs suck. I hate the Rangers. That was
Interesting.
probably for
Messy.
94s we talked about. Yeah. If you could add any one team in the league, what city would it be?
And that's assuming not Seattle. I would go Quebec City. Bring back the.
I just saw Jacob's comment later. Jake, we're gonna come upstairs. We're gonna beat
Wait,
you
what
up.
did he say?
He says, "Who's the ugly guy in the glasses?" we're gonna throw. Jacob, if you're watching this, we dare you to come downstairs right now. We dare you, Jacob. You can hear us, Jacob. Come downstairs. We dare you to come downstairs. Okay. Did you hear John Garrett's comment tonight? He's only asked 5 NHLers for autograph: Gordie Howe, Bobby Orr, Dave Keon, and the Sedins. Pretty cool. That is cool. Well, the Sedins are in some good company there. Edmund, is there some? Okay, wait. Close the door. We're still live. Okay, this
This is brutal.
this is the bonus you guys will get for that error. Okay, hold on. Let's finish this off.
Send here.
Hello again. I am back. Oh no, now it's getting all fuzzy. What's wrong?
It's
with it?
fine. It's just the quality.
Hello, I'm back. Welcome back. What was my answer? Fernando, I can't remember your question. Oh, favorite logo. You did answer that now. Welcome back. Who's the ugly guy in the glasses? Oh, Sean, favorite Post Malone song?
White Iverson.
What?
White Iverson. It's like Allen Iverson.
I know,
if this was
but
white.
Allen Iverson is not white.
He's not white. No, thanks for.
Favorite logo for me is the Flyers, and I'm a Pens fan. Quebec. I was wondering if it was my Wi-Fi. No, Lauren,
No,
it is
it's
our
ours.
it is our Wi-Fi. Your chat burped. Yes, Jacob has guys or has guts. Hello, Jake. How did Jacob say hello? Did you bring your phone down?
No.
How did you say hello when you're right here?
Hello. Okay, I know my favorite non-Canuck.
Wait, how did it say hi? Someone's on your phone.
It's Jake or Go see who's on.
No, it doesn't matter. Someone's on your phone. How are you saying hi when you're right here?
Hi.
Okay.
Anyway, okay, my non-Canuck favorite logo is actually the Calgary Flames horse head. Do you remember that one with the fire coming
Yes.
out of the nose? That's a good one.
Okay, so for the last 3 minutes, you can ask. Okay, we're gonna answer these last.
AMA, ask us anything.
Okay, but the questions all have to be who is the better blank between these two? Who is the better whatever? Okay, and we're gonna get them to answer both at the same time for the last 3 minutes. After we do this, someone didn't pay the bills. Yeah, I gotta go pay them actually when we're done. Justin, question for Jacob: who's the NHL leading scorer right now?
Us. No, Connor. No, it's not Connor McDavid.
Yeah, it's his teammate.
Yeah. I don't know anyone else from that team.
Okay,
Well,
Leon
we're doing a lot
Draisaitl.
of who is. I like it.
Okay, I've seen this movie, guys. Jacob is the best.
Thanks,
you should
man.
run. Hello. Okay, who is the better brother from Jacob? So obviously Fernando or
He's a
Kayla.
better brother, so like.
Okay, you
To Kayla?
count. No. Just who's the better brother overall?
Me.
On the count of three. No, you point to someone. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Easy.
Who is typing for Jacob? He's behind you both. It's either
It's either
their
my
sister or
or
Sean's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Who is the better cook? 1, 2, 3. Who is the better bowler? 1, 2, 3. Who is the better son? 1, 2, 3. Neither. Who is the better bowler? Again, 1, 2, 3. Hey Sean, what do you think of the XFL?
I think it's a lot better than its original season. I've been watching a couple highlights and it looks fun enough. It's nice to have football when there's no NFL, but hopefully they make it legitimate and they can make it like a good feeder system into the NFL.
Any thoughts, Jake?
XFL's cool. I like how they kick off.
Who is the better basketball player? 1, 2, 3.
Just kidding.
Who is the better boyfriend? 1, 2, 3.
100%. 100%.
Boyfriend to your boyfriend. Sorry.
Say so. Apologize to
Take
him.
that back.
That's right.
Who is better looking? 1, 2, 3.
You're not in this.
Get out of this.
What was the reason for different pathway from bowling?
For me,
Yeah.
I feel like I got into it a bit too late. There's already guys who are off to college to bowl. So I think I love bowling. I'm going to do a bunch of tournaments, but I don't think the pro tour is really something for me when I'm already in school for something that I really
It looks.
like.
It looks really fuzzy. Is that how it's going to turn out?
I think so, just because of the Wi-Fi.
Oh man,
But that's okay.
this is horrible. This is the worst one ever. All right, last few. Who is the better bubble tea orderer?
We got
1,
the same
2,
thing.
3. Come on, vote. 1, 2, 3. Who is the better singer? 1, 2, 3.
That's probably him.
Who has more trade value? 1, 2, 3.
What's trick? Like, if I was Austin Matthews, I'd add high trade value.
Who is the better trash talker? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, my trips are A1.
Who is the better driver? 1, 2, 3. Who is the better ladies man? 1, 2, 3.
Hey, point at me.
Fernanda.
Oh, Jacob asked. Okay, lastly, who's been at the Canucks games for more wins? 1, 2, 3.
Me. I go to more in
If
general.
I have a ratio, though, that's me.
Not a racial percentage. Okay, last few, and we're wind up in the last 2 minutes. Do you guys think that the XFL will do you being some Canadian teams?
Bring.
Huh?
Bring
do you
some
think
Canadian
Do you think
teams.
there's gonna be a Canadian team in the XFL?
I hope not. I
Yeah.
hope they keep the CFL and XFL different. I kind of wish that the XFL and CFL found a way to coexist and the CFL doesn't get hit too hard because of it.
Great, good answer. And Justin, thank you. Justin says no, it is clear. So maybe it's clear on their side. It's just our bad.
Okay.
Okay. So for the last minute, the next 5 questions, we're gonna answer all 3 of us. Who has the better fashion sense? 1, 2, 3.
See this?
Jacob.
You see this?
Okay. Okay, that's one question. We have time for 4 more. The next 4 questions, and then
Do
we'll
5
wrap
more.
up.
That was from upstairs.
Okay,
Let's
the
do
next 5 that aren't Jacob, and then we will wind up. And all 3 of us are in it. All 3 emo boys. Okay, quick question. Do you think Toronto will ever get an NFL team?
I'm gonna say if London gets one, then Toronto probably will.
London's getting a team?
Jacob said, "Excuse me." What was the question?
I have no idea.
No,
Who's the
you
better
said
freshman?
no more questions. For me.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Next.
So last 5 for sure. Who gets in trouble most?
Ooh.
1, 2, 3.
Do I?
Him.
Do I?
Or him, not me.
Okay.
Not by mom.
Who has the better hair?
Ah,
1, 2, 3.
you're pointing at the wrong person.
No, I'm pointing to him.
Pointing
Look
at
at
the
that.
wrong
Look at that.
person.
It's not gonna be me. Who has the better career potential? 1, 2, 3. Both of them. Professional bowler, sports agent. Who's a better cook? 1, 2, 3. Jacob, you're not being
I know how to
truthful.
cook itchy butt.
Instant noodles is not cooking.
Oh, and the last question, whatever the next one pops up, we're answering it.
Oh no.
And then I will wrap up. We're just waiting. This is good. This is good TV here.
God.
Okay, I cannot. This is
okay,
great.
next one.
No, this is a good one. Great ending. Who would be a better dad? 1, 2, 3.
No doubter.
Well, I hope not to find out soon for both of you because
Nice.
you don't even have a girlfriend. That was a weird ending.
Yeah, that was
In a good way.
Terrible.
that was pretty.
All right,
bad.
I'll wrap up. You guys can go.
Okay. Good night.
Thanks, guys. Jake, we're gonna have a Royal Rumble after. Okay, go. Say hi to Fernanda and Kayla.
Bryce.
Okay. That was painful. That was a first. We had an internet shutdown, which isn't a first, unfortunately. But then we had Jacob basically making fun of us from upstairs. Then he comes down, and Jacob is still texting to us. But obviously, that was Fernanda or Kayla. Overall, that was a lot of fun. Thank you, guys. I know for us in Canada, it's a long weekend. It's family day. But regardless, you could be doing anything else. You could be studying. You could be working. You could be exercising. You could be watching TV. You could be sleeping. I really appreciate that you take the time to watch this. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We know that this week the Canucks only have 2 games, at home against Minnesota on Wednesday, at home against Boston on Saturday. As always, I'll review any of the comments or any questions I didn't get to answer during the live stream. It gets a little crazy, as you know. I try my best to get to everything. I think I got to almost everything in there. But if I didn't get to your question, I apologize. And especially the last few minutes, I'll have to see what happened after the hiccup. And I'm sorry if it booted anyone out. And I appreciate you guys coming back. So thank you. Enjoy the week. The Canucks have a chance to get first place back, but they got to put some wins together. And once again, thanks for watching today. Have a great week. Check out my you're on my YouTube channel. Check out my Twitter @CanuckClay. Check out my Instagram @ClaytonNemo. And we will go from there. I can hear the boys arguing right now, so I got to go break that up and see what's happening. And I'm not sure why they're screaming at 11:15 at night. Have a great night, everyone. God bless. Go Canucks, go.